going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings are back at it. TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill Thursday afternoon. It is hot. It's very hot. It's very humid. August is back. Like a couple of days where it was nice, but now not so much. Yeah. But the Vikings getting ready for preseason game number 1 against the Texans at 3 p.m. Central Time, the only time zone that matters, I think, probably. On Saturday, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. It's going to be good, right? So there's some stuff and things and stuff. Hawkinson looked really damn good. So he's back. He returned to practice yesterday, but now he looks fully back. So it was just an abundance of caution over the weekend, so it's good to see. Some takeaways from Vikings practice number 12. So helmets and shells today. So helmets, shoulder pads, shorts generally. 90-minute practice. Try and make it quick today. Not only because it was like a souped up walkthrough. It wasn't a full practice, but also the heat. Also 2 days from game day. Makes sense. Coach Hatfield and the local media jackals before practice talked about how in preseason, 90 to 95% of kickoffs will be returned as teams look to work up their blocking schemes, work on their coverage. It does make sense, right? Because what's the point of taking a touchback even though a touchback has been moved up to 35 this year? So basically, they're just getting rid of the kick return. Just at a certain point, just get rid of it. Find something else to do. Right? I did mention that wide receiver Rondale Moore, who's been sort of laying in the weeds in training camp, does have the inside track to win the punt return job. So that's beautiful to see. I had some great words to Ty Felton as well, the rookie third-round pick from Maryland, who, I understand. Like it's hard for everyone to stand out at camp, but Rondale and Ty are definitely two players that, especially given the composition of the receiving room right now, kind of a bummer that they haven't stepped up. All right, we'll get to more receivers later. Speaking of, center Ryan Kelly was back as a full participant, as full as the Shells practice allowed. Right, he was limited participant yesterday, a full padded practice, and Kelly, probably not going to be playing in preseason. Jurgens probably going to be center 1 on Saturday against the Texans in front of JJ McCarthy. We'll see. Jurgens was a center for McCarthy in the preseason game against the Raiders last year. Oh yeah, that one, the only one. Also, speaking of receivers, Jefferson throwing to receivers in red zone drill, which Justin Jefferson has like 8 passing attempts in his NFL career. And Kevin O'Connell doesn't mind busting out a trick play, and I feel like we're going to see it. So I actually have a jelly bean wager of who has more fantasy points this year, J.J. McCarthy or Jordan Love. And I actually feel like with McCarthy's rushing ability that we got the best of it there. Also, we made sure that it was PPR scoring because I know for a fact that Kevin O'Connell likes to throw the ball with Jefferson, and I feel like just McCarthy's going to have 1 or 2 catches this year, and that's going to put us over the top. It's going to be good. Yeah. Jalen Speedy-Naylor, we had mentioned that he had sort of limited in practice yesterday, was wearing a red no-contact jersey today. Now, Speedy, first couple of years of Speedy's career, durability had always been an issue, so it's kind of unfortunate. Yeah. Also, wide receiver Thayer Thomas and Lucky Jackson with Addison the ones. Now, I don't see this necessarily as a disappointment in Naylor or Rondale or Ty Felton. I was like, hey, props to Thayer Thomas, Lucky Jackson, man. Really stepping up, really making the most of their opportunities. Plus, I feel like Lucky Jackson's going to be in the mix. It's going to be good. Addison had a rough drop in red zone, but, it's fine. It's whatever. McCarthy and Hawkinson connected in sevens multiple times. Like Hawkinson's looking really damn good, especially given where he was a couple days ago with his hip, his back. Also, Cashman outside, how about that? He's been on point in coverage in the middle of the field. And we talked about how, Cashman missing the first Lions game, the first Rams game last year was a huge deal. And the Vikings the Vikings defense gave up 30-plus points or 29-plus points in both games to those respective offenses. So Cashman, super important. Cashman, great in coverage today. Had an interception yesterday off of a poorly placed ball by McCarthy. He'll be good to go. Darisaw, off day again. Again, I like that they're sort of rationing his work, seeing how much he can take, just completely get this thing ready to go for week 1. Also, Walter Rouse getting some left tackle 1 rep in place of Justin School. So I think it's just more they want as many looks as possible, to see what they have there. And Rouse, so he was a left tackle at Oklahoma and Stanford. But remember, at Oklahoma, Dylan Gabriel's a left-handed quarterback, so it was like flippy-floppied. As well as Rouse, they worked him at guard, they worked him at right tackle. So flexibility is, paramount with Rouse in that regard. Harrison Smith had a nice couple of PBUs, getting in some work since Harrison's going to be sitting through preseason. Jonathan Grenard, you could honestly do a whole hour about how good Jonathan Grenard has looked. Speed, strength, size, as well as just the bag full of tricks, And there's always a sweet spot in an edge rusher's career where maybe they come into the NFL, they're highly productive in college, but a lot of it is just physical ability, right? Where I'm a better athlete than the opposing left tackle, so ipso facto, we will get sacks. But in the NFL, everyone's a physical freak in general, right? And there's a spot where the player, a couple years into the league, they understand that everyone is good, so I have to be better. And they bust their ass, and not just physically, mentally. Coming up with a whole bag of tricks and counters and having dossiers on the tendencies of the tackles you're going up against. Like, we're in that beautiful strata right now with Jonathan Grenard, right? As where it's matching up physically as well as mentally. Like, he's a veteran who still is a physical freak. It's great right now. All right. Also, quarterback Sam Howell completely redeemed himself, right? So Howell has actually put together a couple of nice practices since things were not good last week. Things were not good in the night practice, but last 2 days, Howell's looked pretty good. Operated 2-minute drill with the twos, and offensive line held up well. It's good to see. And also, Max Brosmer. I'm not ready to say that he's going to be quarterback 2 this year, but there's something there, And I understand he's going up against third-team defense, but he's also working with a third-team offense in general. And it's just like, there's more than just clearly just beating dudes who are going to be on the practice squad or not even make the sphere, right? It's going through his reads, throwing a catchable ball, getting out there on time, eyes downfield, not looking rattled by the pass rush, and there's something there. There's certainly something there with Brosmer. Like, it would be great. It'd be beautiful if Brosmer turns into a long-term backup for J.J. McCarthy. And it'd be great if Sam Howell rose on up, became a really solid quarterback 2, and then has on the backs of some great preseason performances, ends up getting a quarterback 1 job or a bridge quarterback job next year, and the Vikings get some comp pick compensation. It'd be good. But either way, last little tune-up before Saturday, historic U.S. Bank Stadium, Vikings versus Texans. McCarthy will be there. The Texans' defense, not playing a lot of starters. So no Daniil, no Anderson, no Stingley. They'll be fine. See, this is going to be beautiful because McCarthy will play 1 preseason game, probably like a half, maybe even that, and he just lights that ass up. He lights up the Texans in preseason. Vikings fans, shut it down. That's all we remember about J.J. McCarthy. That's right. Shut it down. I love it. Anyways, that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings practice number 12. You guys are the best. To do. Skol, production value.